Seller contribution. How does it work? Can you get it? And how do we use this to our advantage in our market going into 2023 with everything shifting? If you love getting into the nitty-gritty stuff of real estate like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and we'll get started. In this video, we're going to talk about the most important things you need to know about the seller contribution, how it works, what limits there might be, and also how to decide whether you'd rather have a $5,000 credit, a $5,000 buy down, a $5,000 off the price, whatever your choices are, how to evaluate that and what questions to ask to make sure you're making an amazing decision. I'm an agent in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and I've been in the business scene where it was customary to get seller contribution. You could almost expect it, all the way to through the last couple of years being really lucky if you even saw a penny. And now to where we're getting back to negotiating, you can potentially get a seller contribution on some houses. And I'm going to share some insight on how to make sense of it all. First, we just want to lay down how the seller contribution works. Let's say you have a house that's $500,000 and you want to get $5,000 back. This means the seller is going to give you back as the buyer $5,000 toward closing costs or whatever. So that makes now the offer that was $500,000 net of $495,000. If the seller really wants to net $500,000 and that's a deal breaker for you, you have to go up and offer $505,000, and then you take off the $5,000 that's coming back to you. The seller's not gifting it to you. It's going to be wrapped up in your loan, but it will have to appraise that amount. You have the contracted price at $505,000. You take off the $5,000 that they're giving you back, and now the net price to the seller becomes $500,000. Obviously, if you would like $10,000 back, then you go up $10,000, or you can negotiate somewhere in between. Depending on what loan program you use, there can be caps, so just be cognizant of how high your seller contribution is getting. When you're deciding whether A, you want to ask for or give seller contribution, and how that should play out in your loan, or should it just be cash back to you and toward closing, here are some things to consider, and I'm going to lay out some scenarios for you. If you have the $5,000 and you're not doing a buy down, your payment at a 6.5% interest rate would be $3,160.34. If you used $5,000 from the seller to buy down your rate to 6.25% on that $500,000 loan, your payment would now be $3,078.59. That saves you $81.75 a month. If you take the $5,000 less option, which now makes the price $495 at a 6.5% rate because you didn't buy it down, your mortgage would be $3,128.74. That still would reduce the mortgage payment by $31.60. This is really important to understand whether you're a buyer, a seller, or an agent, so we can offer perspective in all angles. And to help each party understand what the other one's trying to get at and how we can best help make that happen so we can get a win-win for the deal. One of the questions you really want to ask is, well, how long is that going to take me to recoup? If you're deciding between just taking the cash and use it toward closing or taking it off the list, the sales price, how long is it going to take me to get that $5,000 back? In this case, it's 5 years. So you want to ask, am I going to be there 5 years? Is the buyer going to be there 5 years? Or are they likely going to sell or refinance before then? And this is by no means advice of me telling you what to do, because I'm not a loan officer. This is just showing you some scenarios to look at and ways to look at these things so you can make a better informed decision. All the factors of how long are you going to be there, what's important to you, do you just need that loan payment lower, all those things factor in. And you also have another option. What if you just took the $5,000, you put it in an account, and you broke that down over, let's just say, 2 years? How much would that lower your payment or subsidize it for you if you use that $5,000 to help pay some of your mortgage? If you did that for 24 months, you would have $208.33 to put toward your mortgage. And you're again asking, how long am I going to be here? Would the 2 years help me and then it'll be fine? Or would you rather have one of the other options? In all of these talks of scenarios that you're going to do, the 10-1 arm or 5-1 arm is probably going to come up with your loan officer as one of the scenarios. It's something to look at where your percentage, your interest rate will be locked in for 10 years and then it will go up. Same questions though. How long will you be there and what best fits you? There's no right answer to this because what could be right for you or your client might be totally not right at all for another person. Keep in mind the 10-1 arm is a product that doesn't involve any seller contribution or doesn't have to. It's just the loan product that allows you to lock in a little bit of a lower rate for 10 years before it goes up. The loan officer you're working with will be more than happy to put these scenarios down for you and go in detail and show you exactly what this would look like, how long these things will take to recoup, and what an arm would look like. They will outline all of them for you. You're not bothering them. So now let's talk about, can you even get a seller contribution right now, which is a little bit tricky, because in some circumstances with some house, we can absolutely get a seller contribution. And in other areas, in really hot neighborhoods or a hot house, and it's getting multiple offers, there's really less of a chance of that happening. So you need an agent that knows the market like the back of their hand and can really figure out and know the nuances of the market to see if that would be a possibility for you. Behind the scenes, at least in Maryland and a lot of states, you can pull up the behind the scenes stuff that shows how much seller contribution was given, what kind of loan was used, that can help you with your negotiations. We can literally pull up a whole zip code and I can see, oh, 40% of them have seller contributions in the actual amount. Or we could pull up another neighborhood and I'm like, this is gonna be tough. There's only like 5% of the houses in this neighborhood have a seller contribution. But that's great information because you know going in that it's probably not gonna be an option or it's gonna be a challenge to get that seller contribution. More than ever, rolling into 2023 after such a crazy market, strategy and knowing the nuances in your market is going to make a difference in your career, in your offers, in everything that we're doing in real estate, understanding the micro parts of the market. If you're seeing seller contributions in your market, type seller contribution below in the comments and make sure you check out this video all about what to post to attract sellers and help solve their problems before they even knew they had them. Also subscribe and hit the like button. I'll be forever grateful because it helps YouTube tell other people they should be watching this video.